What's up, Star Wars nerds, and welcome to another episode of Brett on Fett. On today's episode, I'm finally recapping my experience at this year's ICCCon in Nashville, Tennessee, and I've got some pickups to share from that event. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 105 of Brett on Fett, and I want to start off by apologizing for not putting out a video in a while. At the beginning of October, I went to ICCCC in Nashville, Tennessee, and of course I had that experience, and as soon as I got back from that trip, I had to turn around and go on a work trip for a conference, and when I got back from that, I just got really behind at work. Had to work all weekend, the weekend after that, and just been really busy with my job and family stuff as well. So it's just been very tough to get around to putting together this video finally. But I guess better late than never. I had a fantastic time at ICCC this year. Got to spend most of it with my good friends and legends in the collecting community, Gary Moore and Brad Vandiver. And I got to hang out with a lot of cool people. Got to see my good friend John Rula, aka Action Figure Grader. Got to see Chris W. and the rest of the 5 Idiots Talking Toys. And got to meet several of my subscribers as well. That was awesome. Thank you so much if you came up and said hi, introduced yourself. Enjoyed meeting you guys. And I got to meet quite a few celebrities, and they were all very nice. And probably the highlight of my celebrity meetings at this con was the amazing author Timothy Zahn. Of course, he is the creator of the Thrawn character. Love his books. I also got to meet the incomparable Warwick Davis. Very awesome meeting him. He is hilarious, by the way. And of course, I got to meet the legendary Billy D. Williams. Just fantastic being in a room with that guy and being able to briefly talk to him. That was just an amazing experience. Also got to see a lot of cool Star Wars merchandise, made a few purchases myself, really enjoyed the lobby sales they have after hours and room sales. That's always a ton of fun at ICCC. Got to get some fantastic autographs and really just taking it all in, hanging out with a ton of Star Wars nerds and a lot of collectors. One thing great about ICCC is I really feel like it's more of a collectors oriented con rather than just a con in general. So anyways, I do have some camera footage highlighting the event experience I want to show you guys. I do want to apologize. I was using a new camera that apparently I wasn't an expert with at the time. I had practiced beforehand with no problems, but when I went back and reviewed what I had taken, there was just a lot of stuff where I must have hit the wrong button and stuff was getting out of focus. So I apologize for the times when things are out of focus or when resolution isn't so great. And with that said, let's roll the footage. What's up, Star Wars nerds? We're here at ICCC on day 1 with the VIP only. All right, Gary Moore's got the Reservoir Dogs exclusive. Check this out, the Boba Fett Mr. Pink.
Number 2 of 50. Mr. White, obviously.
Yeah, Mr. White.
Also, number 2 of 50. And
Vader, Mr.
Black.
Of course, Mr. Black.
And again, 2 of 50.
Beautiful. Congrats, man.
love to see you write Indiana Jones.
There you go.
I could probably do Indiana Jones.
What's up, guys? So day one of ICCC is complete. I'm a little bit tired. I've been up since 4 a.m. but it was a successful day. It's a VIP only day, and so there's not a ton of people, so it's not crowded. So it's good to get a big feel for everything that's for sale, and it's good to meet the guests and stuff. What's up, guys? Day 2 of ICCC has pretty much concluded for me. Didn't buy a whole lot of stuff today, but got to meet some amazing people and got 2 epic autographs. Let's check that out. So today I got to meet 2 legends of Star Wars, Mr. Lando Calrissian himself, Billy D. Williams, and Mr. Warwick Davis, who played Wicket, of course, and a million other Star Wars characters.
Red is Series 2.
What's up, Shane? I bought one or two of these from you a while back.
It probably went through so many hands and through so many repaints and got tossed somewhere. So it's likely, unless it shows up and somebody actually produces the evidence, it's probably long gone. A lot of things like I only know one prototype from the very earliest stuff that I worked on. I know one exists and I know where it is, but I can't tell you.
The chance to jumpstart my career, as I never would have ever expected anything like this to happen. It was also my chance to fall flat on my face in front of millions of Star Wars fans who would never forgive me. I still didn't know at that point whether I could capture Star Wars, but I decided I'd be crazy not to try it.
He's very innovative, but when it comes to Lando, hello, what have you?
We're doing this scene where we're watching the pod race. So I'm sitting in a set which is just a grandstand. Some aliens around and I'm sat there. And the AD now and again goes, right, the pod's flying through and it's gone by. And at that point they blast some air at you from an aircraft propeller to simulate the kind of backdraft of the pod going by. Got very bright light shining in our faces from the twin suns, of course. And an alien's coming around serving kind of snacks. So each time she comes by in a take, I take some crisps, which were kind of regular kind of chips that have been dyed to look like alien chips. And this drink, which was a mixture of fruit juices all poured into one to make a weird concoction. So I'd take some of the chips, a sip of the concoction. Okay, repeat that about 30 or 40 times, you have chronic indigestion. I felt so ill. And then the bright light shone in my face, so I laid my head back and I just fell asleep. And I woke up to a tapping on my foot, looked down, it was a bearded man with a plaid shirt on. It was George going, Warwick, what are you doing? I've got you in my movie and you're asleep.
What's up, guys? So day 3 of ICCC has pretty much come to an end. There will be some more lobby sales, room sales tonight. There's a big party called the Boonty Eve Party that we'll be going to. That's at about 8 o'clock or so. Today was a great day. Got to watch a lot of panels. Got to listen to Warwick Davis talk. Got to hear from the various X-Wing pilot actors such as Biggs, Gold Leader, and Wedge Antilles, the actors for those 3 characters. That was pretty awesome. And got to hear from some Kenner toy creators as well, and just got to hang out with some pretty cool people. Alright guys, my day 4 at ICCC is pretty much done. My bags are packed. I was able to make everything fit. It was very close though. And it was just kind of a chill day today. Got to hang out with some folks, got to meet some new people. Met Daryl DePriest, who used to work at Hasbro. He was one of the co-writers of that vintage collection book, the Blue Milk book, a lot of you may have. Got some really awesome insight from him. And just said my byes to everybody. I'm gonna be checking out my hotel and heading back home. Another great experience. One of my favorite things about ICCC is the people that go to this convention, and the fact that it's not just completely insane packed. You know, you have some breathing room, which allows for more conversation, getting to know people, getting to talk to the celebrities more. So overall, another great experience. I've got some awesome items to show. All right, peace out. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that footage from my ICCC experience. And now let's get into some pickups from that event. Now, I'm not gonna go through everything I got because, for example, I did get a number of figures autographed, such as the Billy D. Williams and Warwick Davis autographs. And then I immediately submitted those to CAS for grading at the event. So I didn't bring those home with me, but you'll get to see that whenever I get those back from grading. I also got a huge item. I mean, this is a big item for me that I'm not gonna be showing on this video because I wanna save it for another particular video I'm gonna do later on. All right, so I'm gonna kick things off with a non-Star Wars item. I actually picked this up from one of the room sales. This is an original Transformers G1 Rodimus Prime, and it's one of my top 5 favorite Transformers as a child. And if you don't know the story, I have basically lost all of my toys from my childhood. They were all given away when I was about 13 years old. Basically, my parents didn't think I played with any of the toys anymore since I was into video games at that point, so they gave them away, and it was very traumatizing and probably led to one of the reasons I collect toys as an adult, as I've been slowly buying back some of my favorite toys from, of course, Star Wars, but also Mask and Transformers. And Rodimus Prime was probably in my top 5 favorite Transformers as a kid, so I just haven't seen a clean version like this for as good of a deal as I was able to find it. So really excited to get this. I'm not going to bother transforming it for you guys because most of you probably don't really care. You're probably here just for Star Wars toys. It's just a very cool, nostalgic piece for me personally. All right, next up, there was a guy selling these mini carded Star Wars figures. He had a bunch of them, and I picked up a couple, starting with this Power Droid. Last year, he was there, and he was selling a bunch, and I picked up a 2-1B. But back then, he had the card back and the figure, but they weren't actually mounted on a bubble, so these were much better. And then, of course, I had to get this Star Wars number 42 version of Boba Fett, since I do have that comic and the recent TVC figure, and on the back he put a different comic book on the back, but this was very cool as well. And he threw in this cool little mythosaur skull thingy as well as a little bonus. Next up, Shane from 5 Idiots Talking Toys. He does these customized Kenner figures, customized paint jobs on Kenner figures. He had a variety of really cool ones, so I had to get this Boba Fett. I just really like that kind of bronzy color he went with on that one. And then he had this really cool Hoth Stormtrooper that he painted gold and had the blue vinyl cape. That's really what sold it for me, and blue boots. I just thought it was a really cool color combination. So just had to pick up these two and support Shane. Next, I picked up a couple of really cool modern figure stands that are supposed to be a throwback to the original Star Wars 12 Kenner stands. These are made by Sci-Fi Diorama Guy. They're really cool. They come with a ton of pegs that work for TVC, Black Series, and vintage Kenner figures, as well as other toy lines as well. And they come with these cool backdrops that have 2 images each, so you can flip them over. That's the back of the one you're looking at now. So this is the gray, and it's very sturdy. The pegs do not come loose. The figures stay on there, really nice. And as you can see, the backdrops just kind of slide in and out. And I'm curious to find out if he actually sells additional images that you could buy separately. So I'll have to look into that. But I bought this space gray stand you see here. And then I also bought a tan stand that is more of a Tatooine theme, as you can see here. And I almost forgot to mention that each box comes with 2 sets of these of the same color, but with 2 different backdrops. And here's a look at the box itself. And as you can see, the box says that these stands are compatible with up to 40 lines of action figures. Next up, I got a couple of things signed by Timothy Zahn, including this compilation of the comic version of the Thrawn trilogy. So he's able to sign that for me. What was really cool is he pointed out an Easter egg to me on page 222, where the artist actually put in Spock, Kirk, and Bones from Star Trek, and he's telling me how it was funny that that got past the editors because Lucasfilm would have never approved that. I also brought him this massive Black Series Last Command set. If you haven't seen this, it has a Velcro opening to reveal these 4 different figures. It's a very cool set, and I just like the way it looks, so I thought it'd be cool to get him to sign it. I did have him sign it in this Thrawn colored blue, and I thought that'd be a great idea. Unfortunately, it's really light on that yellow background, so kind of regret using that color. I probably should have used just a bolder blue, but it still looks very good. Next, I picked up this custom G.I. Joe Boba Fett card back. Now, this guy had previously sold custom Boba Fett figures with this card back mounted on, but he was completely sold out. So I just got the card back, threw it in an acrylic case, and threw in one of my Boba Fett figures just to go with it. I just thought it looked good, it presented good. Of course, it's got the original Joe card back there, but with the Boba Fett profile on the back. So I just thought this was a really cool idea. Looks great. And I'll wrap things up with a couple of vintage Kenner mock pickups, starting with this Ugnaught. Now, lesson learned about this pickup, I bought this figure at one of the evening lobby sales after I had been taking part in a few adult beverages, and I had a nice buzz going, and my judgment was not at 100%. And so I actually bought this in a part of the lobby that was kind of dark. I didn't bother to use my flashlight, and for some reason I did not see the full condition of the card back. I knew the bubble was dented, but the guy was offering it for a pretty good deal, and I needed this one for my vintage ESB collection, so I went ahead and picked it up. It is a 41 back, and it's not in the worst condition ever, but it's just in a lot worse condition that I would prefer to own. So remember, guys, don't drink and buy vintage Kenner mocks, or you may wake up in the morning regretting it. And finally, a vintage Kenner mock I do not regret buying at ICCC is this Imperial Stormtrooper Hoth battle gear. The timing of this pickup is interesting because Hasbro just announced that they are finally releasing a Snowtrooper in the vintage collection, but very happy to have this one. This is a 32 back B. It does have a Richway price checker. I don't remember that store. I didn't have those when I was a kid, but it's in really good shape. Not the best shape ever, probably a 70 to 75 grade, but the bubble looks good. The card back has a slight wave to it at the bottom, and yeah, there's some veining and some scuffing at the top there on the back of the card, but overall it presents very nicely, and this is just one I've been wanting for my ESB collection for a while. It's one of my favorites, so happy to pick this one up. Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode of Brett on Fett. Let me know in the comments if you were at ICCC this year and what your favorite part of the event was, and if you got any really cool pickups there. Thanks for checking out this video. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Don't forget you can also follow me on Instagram. Take care, and we'll see you next time.